Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Mr. P.I.E.N, with another Saturday soulful session of Expression Sessions. You know who it is to my right. My love, my life, my lovely wife, Kiki. Kiki, say hi to the people.
Hi to the people.
So we ain't gonna get the classic. You gonna switch it up now and I'm looking for the classic?
Yeah, you gotta keep it spicy. You can't be doing the same thing every week.
So that mean I gotta change my whole intro and everything too?
No.
Oh, well, y'all know what it is. It's another Saturday soulful session of Expression Sessions. What do? We come through and we express a topic to you. And we hope that you get down in the chat and you express yourself too. Because that's something that we need you to do on Expression Sessions. How's your day been, boo?
It's been good.
What did you do?
Worked a little bit. Ran some errands.
Yeah. Did you run them or did you drive them?
I drove to the place and then so I guess I drove.
You drove, but then you got out and you ran in to take care of your business. Is that what you did?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that helps out a lot. That helps out a lot. I didn't want you to run the whole way. Then you might not have energy for this part of the day. You looking like, really, babe? Oh, it's gonna be one of those shows, so you might as well get prepared. Get your funny bone ready. Get your serious face ready, because there's gonna be all type of questions. And I'm looking at our kids over there, looking at us like we crazy. But anyhow, Corey, how you been? Well, y'all know we back. Paradox Studios, Austin, Texas, East 5th Street, where the lighting and the sound is set up by Corey, and it's so unique, and it feels good to be here and to do this ever so freely. Hope y'all paying attention and you listening clearly to me and what we have to say today. And today I want to talk about something that was on my mind, that's been on my heart for quite some time. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to this too. It's things that we go through. You know, in this life and what we do, a lot of people, they see you, they see us, and they have this perception of whether you are a success or not, you know, and what is a success and what successful people do and how they make it through. And that's what we're going to talk about to you today on this lovely Saturday before we end this month of May in about another week. It's back, Expression Sessions at Paradox Studios. So make sure you get on there in the chat and make sure you have something to say. Make sure you speak, and then somebody will give us what you're saying. Corey over there, no, he won't give it to me. My wife will, because we watching the chat down there. So you make sure you express yourself so we can express yourself, so we can express ourselves too. But before we really get into this thing, it's something that I need to do. All right. Father God, I come before you today thanking and praising you in this way, hoping that you use me and give me something to say. Well, let me back up. I thank you for using me and giving me something to say that's going to bless someone in a particular way, in a specific way that's going to help change their life today. Regardless to what others may say, everybody must know, regardless to what everyone say, it's okay to just be you. No matter what others may think of you, know that it's okay to just be you, because it's something that a higher power has called you to. So what I need you to do, I need you to tune in, clean your ears out real good today. Don't just judge the messenger that you see. Listen to the word that the messengers have to say. And we're going to have fun today. And we're going to talk about this thing called being a public success and a private failure in some type of way. And there's some things that I might say that might offend you today. And that's just okay, because that's your feelings and you get to deal with it in any way that you want to. That's all I got to say, Lord. I hope that this blesses someone today. Boo, you got something to say to Jesus?
No.
Ain't nobody got nothing to say to Jesus? You got something to say to Jesus? Zachary said hi to Jesus. He's not going to get on camera, almost never, but that's okay. Here we go. No matter the weather, we going to make it through the storm. Let's get it on.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So how was your Saturday? Did you say?
Oh, Jesus. Let me share this thing to Instagram real quick, y'all. We going to do it that way. And then I'll tell y'all about my Saturday, why I'm so hyped up, and I've been running around all day long. And I actually started my day running, and it's been a while since I did that. But I did start my day running today. It was a wonderful day, I must say. It was definitely that wouldn't be good. I did start my day off running today. I felt good this morning with the sickness that I've been going through. Woke up this morning, I'm like, man, I feel like running. See what I can do with that. And it was raining too. That made it even better. So the breathing was easier for me. The cool weather kept me cool, so I ain't pass out there. You know, I was coughing and, you know, yeah, that's a whole nother story, what was going on while I was out there. But my day went well. Did some running. Then I came home, then I grabbed my phone, my cellular phone, and I turned DoorDash on, and I went and got my money grind on. Because you have to go make some money so you won't keep singing the same song.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Shock G, who just passed from Digital Underground not too long ago. You know, all around the world, same song. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a jam.
Yes, it was. Tune in. One last second. Tune in. I want that to be public. Yes, I do. Tune in for you too. Besides running today, I took my father and I sent him away. Oh, yes, I did for a few days. And I must say it felt good. Okay? I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all today because that's something that I needed to say. It's talking about that public success and that private failure in some type of way. Y'all know what I'm attempting to say. Y'all seen my father on Facebook. We be out walking some days. We be out pushing a wheelchair some days, and some days is great and some days is not so great. And you have to put on that face like you okay. And all the time you not okay. You so busy worried about what people may have to say while you do things the way you do, right? But then that breaks you down, and in private you feel like you failing yourself too because of what you may be going through. And there's some things that I go through with my father. You might go through too, the kids too. This ain't no, dog to dad day, but this is just talking about my day. And I'm pretty sure me dropping him off with a family member was fun for him in some type of way too, because he got to get out and do some things that he normally don't do, get to hang out with some family that used to be part of his crew, go ragging, maybe not today, sit back, chill, laugh, and talk about some things that he don't say with us around the house. So it actually worked out good for me today. And in the private setting, sometimes when I'm in the house, I don't want to look at his face. Okay? I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Yeah, you're going to get the full Mr. P.I.E.N. because we in public today. And I'm going to say everything that I mean. And anybody that take this as a mean thing, then you really just don't understand what I'm saying. Ain't no need for me to attempt to be successful in public and then be failing in private. And a lot of times that's what we do. We put on this nice hat, we put on these nice shirt and clothes, we walk outside our door and we look like everything that we've encountered, we've easily overcame and went through. But that's really not the case. That's really not the case for most people today. I was thinking earlier about this topic about being a public success and a private failure, and God bless the dead. This is no disrespect to anybody that's gone, but it made me think about Robin Williams. It made me think about Kate Spade. It made me think about Anthony Bourdain. And those are all famous people from what we have seen, and in the public light, they had everything going right. But unfortunately, all three of those people happen to lose their life or give their life in the same way. And people would often say, man, what was Robin Williams going through? We were talking the other day and he was like, how can Robin Williams? He was always laughing, always happy, and he seemed like he had everything he need. But a lot of times it's the people that we see who looks like they have everything who's struggling privately. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Have you ever had any times like that in your life where people might have seen you and it looked like everything was all right, but then when you was back at home, it wasn't right, Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's it. So, for me personally, I have children. I have 5 children, 5 wonderful children, and I've not always been the best father or the best parent that I can be. But people on the outside, people maybe in my army units, people at my work, you know, at my place of work, people at the school, they may have thought, man, you got everything going on. How do I be more upbeat and happy and positive like you? But they don't know in the private, you know, I'm sometimes really going through. They don't know in the private that I sometimes really have to cry out to God because I don't know what to do. But then when you attempt to express that feeling in public, people don't want to believe that that's you. People don't want to believe that you going through. People don't want to believe that you have times where you struggle too. And so what do? We put our face on and then we get made up. So when we go out to public, we can actually fight and work our way through. But in the private, it's those same things that the public are celebrating you that you're crying and fighting your way through. And I don't understand why we do that. Why do you believe that's what we do?
I think it's something that we were taught.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because you have those times, or you may have had those times where you opened up to people, and depending on their reaction, you could think that maybe they don't want that side of you. Or they only want to be around when you're positive, Mr. P.I.E.N, but not when you really have things going on in your life. Or it's hard to see. It's no different than your pastor at church. A lot of people put their pastor on a pedestal, and then when they have a human moment, then we toss them away like they're broken or something. But they're just actual people having a human experience. But we put them so far on a pedestal that we can't fathom the idea that they could be
having something that they go through.
Having something that they go through, because normally when we see them, they're in a happy mood, they're in an inspiring mood, they're in a teaching mood. So I think a lot of times we just don't see, you know,
the negative nape-y.
Right. we just can't wrap our minds around you being negative, because when we see you, you're always positive. So we're like, oh, you'll come back, it's gonna be okay. Well, it's gonna be okay doesn't always work for everything. Because although you already know it's gonna be okay, but you're just having a human moment, and emotions are real, and sometimes we have to acknowledge those emotions so that we can move on in a healthy way. It's healthy.
It's very healthy, and a lot of times it's not even meant to be negative, the things that you say. I'm just really giving you all of me, all of Ethan James Smith, all of EJ, showing you that this place that we sit, this space that I'm in today, is not because everything went my way. Those things that I dealt with in the private, God has given me the power to say in the public. Because if you listen to anything that I say that I'm talking about almost every day when I'm on my inspirational page, it's all about some type of tragedy or some type of crisis that I was able to get through, that I'm able to speak in the public positively to you. But it's like we don't allow people to really express what they going through, because it's like most people say, people don't want to know what you going through. They don't really want to know about you. They just want to know what you tell them. You know, they just want to know, well, not what you tell them. They just want to know what you show them or what they perceive about you. But if you really are my friend, if you are really someone that's wanting me to grow, you're going to understand that I struggle with things in the private too. And it's like you said, we want to see people always looking good, putting on their best dress, acting like they don't have any stress. You know, we've passed all tests, and that's not always the case. It's when we bring it to your attention publicly is when you should be really listening to what a person has to say and figuring out how you can help them get through. Because it's in the private times where people lose their life too.
Yes.
You know, I'm a veteran, and we talk about the 22 veterans that commit suicide every day. So most people would think, yo, he's in the Army, he can get through anything, and that's usually what they say. But that's in the public, because you have to put on that face. But then what do you do when it's just you? When you all alone and ain't nobody that you can really reach out and talk to, when you can really express your real emotions about what you're going through. So then you put on the mask, and then you come out here and you attempt to fight your way through. But then when you go home, you struggling real difficult too. It's like when I said about Robin Williams, Kate Spade, and Anthony Bourdain. how could they lose their life or take their life in that way when the world and the public felt like they had everything going on and they was in the exact right space?
Yes. And it's so unfortunate because it was like they brought so much joy to other people and they didn't have it for themselves. It's very unfortunate. It's very sad.
Because a lot of times what we think is success may not be successful to the person that has the success. A lot of times what we think is success may not be successful to the person who has the success, the perceived success. I've said this before. I don't want to be a public success and a private failure. I don't want the world just to love Mr. P.I.E.N and love this inspirational thing. But then at home with my wife and kids, I'm struggling. I get on this camera, I inspire, I uplift you. Then I go home and I talk to my kids and they're like, man, who you talking to? I don't even know you. You don't express yourself with me like that. You don't come and kick it with me like that. But to the world, it look like you doing everything that you need to do. But in private, you know that you're really going through. And here's what I want to share with you. It's working on the inner you that's going to grow you. The interior is always greater than the exterior. See, the exterior is what they see. That's the face. That's the display. But it's what the heart. You have to listen to what the heart is attempting to say. And sometimes when we mask ourselves so much for the public, we really lose ourselves in the private because our heart's crying out for help, such as maybe Robin Williams. I'm pretty sure with some signs out there. But since you're just seeing people the way that you want to see, they don't really feel like they're free, and then they lose their lives tragically.
Yes.
We hear about that in relationships. We hear about that in jobs. Everything looks great. Everything looks great. Everything looks like it's going on, but then really everything is going all wrong. You know, we live in a time in 2021 where all you got to do is pick up your cellular phone and you can hit record and you can tell the whole world what's going on. Some people gonna listen and some people gonna laugh. But if you take that opportunity, that you're on your camera time, that airspace that you have the moment to grasp, then you are able to continue to express you. And the more you express you in the public, while what you go through in the private, the more it grows you.
Absolutely. And hopefully you sharing your truth will help someone else.
Yes.
Sometimes we feel like we're going through stuff all by ourselves, but it's not until someone has a real human moment or shares something private publicly that we all can relate to. And it's like, okay, wow, if they can get through that, so can I. So it's not always a bad thing.
No, I don't think so.
Someone is sharing, parts of their private life publicly, because hopefully it's a blessing to someone. Hopefully it lets you know that, just because we're up here and we're inspiring, that we do have moments where we need help or we need advice or different things. And then hopefully it'll help you too. So you can get the help you need when you're having a moment that may be similar.
So success is the accomplishment of an aim or purpose, the attainment of fame, wealth, or social status. A person or thing that achieves desired aims or attains fame, wealth, the good or bad outcome or of an undertaking, the accomplishment of an aim or purpose. I feel like I'm pretty successful right now, for the simple fact that I'm right here doing what I set out to do over 3 years ago. To be able to get on these cameras and do a podcast and then express this inspiration to you about some of the tragic things that I had went through. But sometimes in private, I feel like I'm a big time failure too, because this ain't just about the money for me, not at all. I've been doing this for free for over 3 years, G. But privately, you like, yo, this is killing my finances, see? Because you so busy chasing your dream and you attempting to work your way through and to get through. But then on the back end, you like, yo, I'm broke too. What am I supposed to do? And when you have things coming at you, bombarding you, you don't know what to do. Because when you take that topic and you want to express that publicly, not that I'm asking you to help me, I'm just asking you to hear me. Not that I'm asking you to help me. I'm just asking you to hear me, because me being able to share this publicly, it gives me the opportunity to keep growing, E. It gives me the opportunity to stump the devil right out in his face and say, see, you can't beat me, G, because that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to close your mouth so you can battle with this all by yourself during those quiet, private times when you're alone too.
Yes.
And that's when we start losing the people who we thought had it all together, who was working with an entire crew. I'm pretty sure Robin Griffin. I'm about to kill the wrong person, y'all. Don't come back, Robin Griffin. Whoever you is, not Robert Griffin, RG3, or whatever, or Robert Griffin out there. You know the man named Robin Williams. Mark and Mindy, Nanu. I'm aging myself. Don't you worry about that.
Was a show.
Yeah, that was a good show right there. Like, our kids are looking like Mark and Mindy YouTube. It is over there.
Yes.
Anyhow,
That was a good show.
I'm pretty sure he had a crew of people. I'm pretty sure Kate Spade had a crew of people. I just seen a friend of mine who I went to middle school, elementary school with. She posted on her page, being back out of town, going to the Kate Spade outlet, how much she enjoyed Kate Spade. So Kate Spade is someone who's gone, but her legacy still lives on. And nobody probably could ever ask the question, what was going on in the dark? What was going on in her private life that she died so tragic in her public life? What was going on in Anthony Bourdain's private life that he died so tragically in his public life? See, if we stop just looking and focusing the light on what we want to see, and we start to turn the light down and just listen and allow that person to speak free, then maybe, just maybe, we can hear and help them to get through.
Yes.
But we won't do that because we struggle with things in our private too. And people tell you that you soft, you weak for talking about those things that bother you. And I think that's why a lot of times we have those public success and those private failures too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Especially in the African American community. It's everything's a secret. Don't speak so free. Don't talk about what's going on in this house. But privately, this house is crazy. I'm just being honest. Privately, this house is crazy. It probably happened in the Caucasian families, the Asian families, the Hispanic families too. We all have something that we struggle with, that we go through. But maybe that's a learned thing too.
Absolutely.
Maybe that's a learned thing too. Maybe it was something that was taught to you because you never seen your parents publicly go through.
Maybe it was something that you was taught. Maybe it was something you experienced. Maybe you expressed yourself to someone and they told all your business, or they belittled you, or it's a lot of reasons why people won't talk about their private life in public. And that's a choice that you have.
Oh, absolutely.
But talk to somebody.
Absolutely.
Somebody you feel that is a safe space.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really what we're getting at. If you're dealing with something privately, make sure you have a safe person, because you may not always want to go public. Some people are just private people. But if you have somebody that you feel is safe, that you can talk to and they won't judge you, it's just a no judgment zone. This is how I'm feeling today, and that person just gives you love and feedback. And that helps.
Yeah, it does, big time.
So you don't always have to say it publicly.
Mm-hmm.
Just say it to somebody.
Say it with your chest, okay? Say it to somebody. And I'm not saying that you're supposed to just be like I am and be able to go talk to anybody about what you're going through with tragedies. I'm talking about if you know this for you, if you know that the world or people, the world around you, your friends, your crew, your family, when they see you, you always the person that they come to because everything look like it's all right with you. But if in private you struggling too, then now that's really up to you. That's up to you, or if you find and seek someone else out where you can talk about these things. Because I'm pretty sure Robin Williams Yes, Robin Williams and Anthony Bourdain and Kate Spade. I'm pretty sure they probably reached out to somebody too, like you said, that safe space, somebody you felt like can help you go through, help you talk about what you into. But maybe that person didn't seem so safe after you had to talk more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times too, and then they start to ignore you. Ooh, no disrespect, God bless the dead. So in 2008, I was, of course, back in Texas, and I was getting ready to ramp up for my second deployment to go to Iraq, 2009, 2010. And I was getting phone calls from a very dear friend, very, very great friend of mine. And he was talking about going on a mission with me and how everything was in his life seemed like it was all right publicly. He had a new job, and he was telling me he was in a new relationship, which was a red flag to me because his wife used to be his everything. But now you're in a whole new relationship, but I wasn't listening. And privately, he was really going through. So him looking to go on a deployment with me was his way of reaching out too. But since publicly he didn't do the things that I asked him to do, there's no way that you could really be going through. So guess what? I ain't really listening to you. But then you get those phone calls and you hear the tragic things that they went through, and then you hear the end result of what they wind up having to do or believing that they have to do, and then that's a weight that you carry with you.
Yes.
That's a weight that you carry with you. I wasn't looking to go on a suicide kick, but maybe this is the way that God is taking this thing, because privately, a lot of us are all dying inside because we're looking in the public. We wear a smile. It's like the poem we have up. We wear the mask.
Yes.
Publicly, we wear a mask so people don't ask. Or for the people that have asked, hey, how you doing? Man, let me tell you something. My day was horrible. I got up today and my dad was acting some type of way, and I had this to clean up and he had that to say, and I was just ready to fight. And they're like, oh, okay, so what you want to get to eat? Well, I thought you just asked me how was I doing? What's going on with me?
Yes.
Now that I'm attempting to share with you what's going on with me, you don't want to hear this because it's not really affecting you, and it's not what you want me to do. You don't really want me to share what I feel. You just want me to share what you thought you felt for me. Oh, you having a good day. That's what I'm expecting you to say. Everything's okay. But privately, he was struggling in some type of way. He was struggling bad, but I didn't hear it because he wasn't doing what I told him, and I wasn't listening with my ears to what he really had to say. And I think at times when we feel like people are not listening to us, that's in the times where in those private times is when the devil started to get in your ear and you start doing things in a weird way. And I ain't just talking about suicide and people taking their life today. This can happen in relationships too.
Oh, absolutely.
You struggling privately, but you look like the couple that got it all together. Look at it. It's me and my boo. But when you get back in the car, you're like, I hate you, right? You got those people that's sitting up in the church smiling and praising the Lord and high-fiving too. Then when you get off the front steps, you're looking at your kids like, I'm about to beat you. And your kids is looking like, what did I do? In public, yes. You asked me something that was supposed to go down in private, see? But you made this thing a public thing, so now I got to show you because you challenging me. And it's not even a challenge sometimes. It's just some people want to know what you're going through. Some people might want to hear what you're going through. But since you're afraid to talk about what you're going through, then privately, you're an evil version of you. You're an evil version of you because you're not willing to allow yourself to grow through what you're going through.
Absolutely. And it's like we talked about before. Some people, if I don't realize that I have a problem, then I don't have a problem. So I can't grow through anything I'm not willing to talk about, or I'm not
Pastor
willing
had to get his towel out.
acknowledge, or I'm not willing to acknowledge. So some people are like, I don't have a problem. What are you talking about?
And that's true. Maybe you don't. And I'm not saying that my life is all bad, but I know some things is not all great either. And things are getting better. Not this is not a pity party. Trust me. Don't believe that. See, it's still Mr. P inspirational, E. But I know that a lot of times there's things that we go through in private, but in public, we act like everything is okay. And when we act like everything is okay, that's when we happen to stay in the same spot. No growth for you.
Absolutely.
No growth for you. You still carry the same type of attitude into the next relationship, and you struggling in that privately too. Why? Because publicly you wanted to put on this face like, ooh, look at me and my boo. We on Facebook, we on Instagram, we taking our pictures too. But in the background, if you really looking at the people and you looking at their body language, you like, ooh, they hate each other too. They not really preaching what they saying to us. They not practicing what they saying to me. What's going on in their privacy? Out here, you expressing that, oh, we happy, go lucky free publicly. But then when you get home, you sleeping back to back. Oh, you can't see me. I don't want to see you. Nobody need to know what I'm going through. I mean, we talked about this before. Like, we watched our show back for Valentine's Day. And if you looked at our body language and you looked at our face, it didn't look so happy. But if you was just looking for what you wanted to see, to judge and not listening to me, then you only see us in public and not understanding that it's in those private times where we sit down and we break down what we talk about in our private times to be able to be right and be real in our public life too.
Absolutely. Because no relationship is perfect.
What?
There are going to be disagreements and things that you don't like at times, but
if privately you publicly look in your mirror and you start to talk to you, if you start to celebrate your way through, then regardless to what anybody think about you, you'll be able to share those hurtful things in the private times too. Because it's not for me to just lay my whole life out for you to be able to write down and critique it too. You could do whatever you want to do. That's on you. It's really for me to free me and for me to heal me. Because when you carry all that extra pressure and your stress, that what you dealing with in your privacy, that's when we get broken down so easily.
Yes. So communication is key. If you're in a relationship, you ought to be able to communicate with your spouse or with the person that you're in a relationship with. That way there's an understanding, and it might be able to alleviate some of the pressures that you have. And it may not. You may just have to be upset for an hour or so, and then, you get over it. But communication is always and is very important.
Public, done, perceive, or existing in open view. Ordinary people in general, the community. We do some things in public that some people think you should keep private. Now we in this text twerk savvy world where you can walk into Walmart and you see some wild things that's being done by boys, girls, men, and women. My son looking like text twerk savvy world. Like, what is he saying? Did he say that on public? You know I got friends right there. They not watching this. If they is, it's cool. Pay attention to. We laugh at the people like the people with Walmart and watch what they do. Some people don't have no shame of putting on the character and going out in public and showing you, you know what I'm saying, what they are willing to do to get that attention from you.
Yes.
But in the privacy of their own life, they're not willing to show themselves or talk to themselves about what they really going through so they can really be them genuine selves in public too. You know, we think it's crazy when we see people in Walmart doing the things that they do, but they might just be doing it for you to get the views.
Oh, absolutely.
Because some of the things you see, you really could not feel like that was the right thing to do. That's really not how you living your life behind the scenes, boo. This really not, hey, Miss King K, how you doing? You really not living your life like this. But see, you willing to act out like this in an irrational way to get the attention of what the people have to say in the public format. But in the private format, you're not acting in a rational way to continue to express what's really in your heart and say what you need to say so you can grow and be your individual self every day.
Yes.
It's like we say, JBY, just be you. No matter what others may think of you, know that it's okay to just be you, regardless to what you're going through, good, bad, and ugly. My wife said it earlier. Nobody is perfect, not even you. Nobody is perfect. We all have some things that's hurting too. We all have some things, but if you allow yourself to publicly share some of your privacy as much that you're willing to deal with in front of everybody, I guarantee you it'll set you free.
Yes.
I guarantee you it'll set you free. You're like, okay, I said, yeah, what you still looking at me for? what you still looking at me for? She be in the private like, babe, you know today I ain't got all that for you, so don't be... Just if you got it, just go with it. Because in the public, I got to put on my face and act like it's okay. I'm just going to sit back and listen to what you got to say. Because I heard this all yesterday.
I'm naturally a quiet person. So I say what I have in the moment.
Yeah, I know.
So sometimes I just don't have anything. I don't want the people to be like, oh, she just putting on the face. No, I don't have anything in that moment. But if I get something, I say something.
I know, I'm just picking with you because we in public. And you have to bring some humor to this thing, too, so they can tune in and express themselves, boo.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm happening to do. Yeah, that's a no. Yeah. Well, that's what I do.
So I have to clear that up. Thank you.
Hey, in private and in public, I'm the same. Ethan James. Always on 10, my friend. Maybe 9. See, my kids, they right on time. Why did I bring them today? Why did I bring them today? Because I want to help y'all understand that what I'm attempting to continue to learn how to practice walking out the things that I say.
Absolutely.
To talk about these things in a way that's going to help you too. It's only 3 things that I'm looking to do with you. Motivate, inspire, and transform you to do what you need to do to publicly live your life free. And when you go home and you're in your comfort of your home, in the privacy, you know that you are still okay. You aren't just happy because of what Jody or Jane or Tommy or Terry had to say. You just okay with being you. Yeah, those are people too. Jody and James and Terry too. Because that's just common names. It's like Jane Doe, John Doe. Well, you got to go to the army to learn about Jody. You don't want to meet Jody, okay? Not Jody from Baby Boy either.
Oh, Lord.
Ooh. You have to excuse me. In my privacy, I had a cold for about a week, G. And it's not the corona, so you okay. You ain't got to worry about me. I told you about a year ago, corona can't hold me. But I have to, cover myself up in the public, see, because people in the private might be like, hey, this dude got the corona. You might want to stay away. And if I was worried about what people had to say, I wouldn't be able to come down here and do this today, right? So in the public being, out in the open amongst the people, as we were driving down here, the public was wide open.
Oh, yes.
It was many people out downtown Austin riding their scooters doing what they had to do. But how many of those people going home probably sneezing in the head you and going through, but they just happy to be around you. Sometimes they happy to be amongst you. And maybe that's why they don't share what they going through. Maybe that's why they struggle at home by themselves too, because they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yes.
They don't know how to really get the help. It's suicide prevention lines. It's, domestic abuse prevention lines. It's all type of lines out there. But a lot of times those lines be lying.
Take us in there. What do you mean?
Okay, I used to volunteer. I'm not going to name the company I volunteered for, but I volunteered to help veterans, right? Mm-hmm. And in the public, it looks like they're doing everything for the uplifting of veterans. And I can say that because I'm a veteran. Okay, cool. It looked like they're doing everything in the public to help the veterans get through, to do what they need to do. But when I got behind the curtain and I was in those back rooms in the private conversations, I realized it was a bunch of BS too. They wasn't really doing things to help these veterans get through. They was just doing stuff to pacify you. They wasn't really listening to you when people would be talking about they about to get put out their house today. They just need a couple of $100 and you not really listening to what they have to say because you want to tell them about the formats and the processes and the steps. But if you here to help me, why won't you help me? Don't talk to the world and the public like veterans are all okay, but in the privacy, veterans, 22, are dying every day because somebody that's sitting down there not listening for real to what they need to say. I had a veteran friend, I told you, he lost his life in that way. I didn't hear what he had to say, so I'm guilty too. I didn't hear what he had to say, so I'm guilty too. So sometimes it happens on such a global scale, people don't believe, like you said earlier, you really could be going through. So then you stop being you. You stop expressing what you feel. You stop talking about how you need help or, with mental pressures, PTSD pressures, maybe physical trauma. You stop talking about how you need help to get through and you figure, you know what? I'm just going to do what I got to do. I can do this all by myself. Whatever that may look like for you. Suicide may not be the way, but you could drink yourself to sleep every day. You could smoke weed every day till you pass out. You don't know what to say. Cocaine might be your thing. Sex might be your thing. But if you being mean to yourself because you're afraid to free yourself because you have to put on this image for everybody else, then you just might lose yourself.
Absolutely.
You just might lose yourself. Being successful is having some type of fame, but you realize sometimes people get successful and they don't want people to know their name no more because it's not what they thought it was going to be. In the public, I have to be Eminem, Marshall Mathers. I can't just be Marshall. I can't just be Haley's dad. If you think about what he said back in the day, I can't even take a shit in the Burger King bathroom without somebody standing by it. Like I'm in my privacy. I just want to do what I need to do. But since I'm this successful figure in the public, I got to be everything that you want me to.
Absolutely.
Because you don't want me for me. You just want me for what I provide to you. And then they going through. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Makes sense?
Makes sense.
Please tell me it do.
It do.
You just told me that because I asked you to. You just told me that. Don't worry about it, okay? It's okay. I'm coughing on the mic in public. We gonna sanitize it later on in the private. Don't worry about it. We gonna take care of that.
Lysol it down when you get done.
Yeah, I hope they do. If not, I'm talking on somebody else's germs too. Then what I'm supposed to do when I go home in the private and I'm coughing on you? My son say, but it's all good because my wife, she's blessed in that way. She don't really get sick. Maybe a half a day out of 365 days, she could be sick for 44 seconds. Okay? 44 seconds, because in her privacy, she's always talking to what we like to call the God. And her public see, I know that's not a word, but in her public see, everybody thinks she just quiet, Kiki. But when you put the dance music on, here we go, 1, 2, 3, turn up. Whether it's privacy or public. People are looking to be seen in the public and looking to be successful in the public, but in the private, they're not doing what they need to do to really help bring their family through. And if you're a man, let me say this to you. Our first job is to make sure that we get our family through. So if the whole world is celebrating you and your wife and your kids not rocking with you, you a private failure too. You a private failure too, but only you know that for you. I'm not saying my family say I'm a private failure, but I have to say as a man today, I have things that I fail at in a particular way. And it helped me to talk to God, say, hey, I want to do this, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to motivate, inspire, and help people transform their life. But in my privacy, I have to make sure I have it right. I have to make sure when I go home and lay down in the bed at night that he can say, or I can say to me, hey, good job, E. You made it through today. You're not fronting just to hear what the people got to say. Hey, Mr. P.I.E.N, you the man. And your kids is like, what? Man, I ain't got nothing for you. They going through. You know what I'm saying? It's like I heard Eric Thomas say, how am I going to go inspire the world and then my kids is failing out at school? You know what I'm saying? How am I going to inspire the world if my kids are failing out of school? How am I going to go inspire the world if me and my wife not talking too? You know what I'm saying? How do you do that? Because we're so busy to put on for the camera that we not putting on when the camera is off.
Absolutely.
We so busy to put on for the camera because we under the public eye that we don't put on for ourselves when we have those rough times, when we feel like we need to cry, but we suck it in. We don't do that because that ain't what we need to do. But that's what you're supposed to do in those private times, to release yourself, to give it to God or the spirituality, the higher power in you, to help you stand the test, to stand to stand in the face of adversity in the public too.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's okay to do that in your private time.
It's required that you do that in your private time.
I give you permission. Some people just need permission to do that.
Hey,
I give you
man.
permission to do that.
Thank you for giving the people permission.
You're welcome. It's a tough job. Somebody got to do it.
Well, I mean, you've been doing this job for quite some time, so it's a good thing you ain't lost your mind in the public or the private.
Child.
You know what? Let's just change the subject, okay? You can just let that go. You can just let that go. But you know what? That's a real topic too, because that was something that we went through so long ago. Again, I was notorious for not listening. Just like I didn't hear my friend who lost his life, it was a time where I didn't hear my wife. In the public, we looked like we had it right. In the public, I thought it was all right. In the private, she had things that she was going through, and it was certain steps that she had to take to be able to get through.
Yes.
And I didn't understand. I'm like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean you doing this? You like, you know what? I've been talking to you in the public and in the private. You ain't hearing me. Indeed. So I'm not finna put on in front for the world to be what the people want me to be. I'm going to be me. I'm going to be Kiki. And there's some things that I struggle with too. But in my private time, I talk, I cry out to God, I pray, I meditate, I read, and then it helped me to grow through. And like my wife said, we giving permission to you to, in those private times, in those public times, if it's on your mind in that public time, you can speak what you feel to help you grow through too, because it's only going to benefit and effectively help you and the people that's around you. That's what's so great about that. Yeah, I could get on here and I could talk about all my tragedies. And some people might laugh at me, but some people might be glad to see, yo, I thought this dude was just always upbeat, inspirational, E. But dang, it sounds like he got there by talking about what he went through in his privacy, because all I'm doing is giving God the glory when I talk about it in the public. That this can't stop me from overcoming and getting through.
Absolutely.
But I struggle with whether I'm so successful in public and then failing at private. That's not what I want to do. I'm going to be the same person all the way through. I don't want to have to front and act like I'm somebody that I'm not just to appease you.
Absolutely.
Just to please you. But then we're not pleasing ourselves because we're afraid to go through. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it's in the privacy, it's in those alone times when you really find you. It's really in those private times where you really find you. It's in those private times that's hurting you, but they're also growing you.
Absolutely. I'll just think about.
Thank you, because I got to wipe. The pastel's sweating. I mean, you see this? Look at this. It's sweating.
Yeah.
Everybody want to see it. That's why they watching on camera, okay?
No, they came for an inspirational speech, not the story.
Why did I bring them? Why did I bring them?
I love kids. They be so honest.
Don't they? Don't they? When I was a kid, I'd have got beat for that in the public and the private. Yeah, you can say it. You can say it. I would have got beat. Who told you to say something about what we going through? Dude, who did you mean nobody want to hear? But we talk like this in my family, in the public and the private. And some people may not understand that. But again, how can I say I want to help other individuals? How can I say I want to motivate, inspire, and transform if I won't even do it in the privacy of my own home?
Absolutely.
Because as my wife just said, kids are honest. They're going to tell the truth. And if you can see them on camera, you can see their face too. And you're going to be looking like, is he telling the truth? Because their face says something else.
I was laughing earlier because one of our daughters, Zaria, had her hand up as Mr. P.I.E.N was talking. And it was like, y'all can't see her, but I can. And yeah, I don't know what she wanted to say in those moments. But
this is what goes on in the
Silliness.
Smith P.I.E.N household.
silliness.
But I'm so grateful that we can bring this same type of energy and transform it for the people to see, because we a real family. Somebody out there know those families who look like they got it all together in public, but that child in the house, that wife in the house, that husband in the house, they're dying inside, and the family is quickly going down south. Quickly, not down here to Texas either. Go away. It's full in Austin. Okay? It's enough imports for the day. I'm cutting it off at 17. 17.
I think we passed 17.
All right, well, keep going then. Keep the party going. Keep the party going. Keep the party going. But no, in all honesty, what you see is a genuine, authentic, Ethan and Kiki. What you see is really what you get. She's laid back. She's quiet, like she said. I'm always on 10 unless I'm in a tizzy. Unless I'm running around acting like I'm busy, so you don't see that I'm going through. That's when I'm dealing with my dad too sometimes. I tell you. I love my dad. Shout out to you. I know you ain't watching, so anyhow, I love him. But sometimes it drives me crazy, and you don't see him as much publicly. But I have to be honest with y'all, man. I had a type of father who was successful publicly, but in the privacy, his family struggled. See, a lot of these controversial stories or a lot of this traumatic stuff that I talk about for E, it was shaped and it was molded for me. It was a foundation, This is what the people are supposed to see. You go to church, you smile. You go to work and you smile while all the while you are going through. And if you don't slow down for a second to check you, whether you in public or private, you gonna die a slow death too. Suicide don't have to get you. A bad relationship don't have to get you. A horrible job don't have to get you. Your mind will get you and stop you from growing to what you could be, because you faking the funk. As they say, fake it till you make it. In the public so everybody can see. I'm on Instagram standing in front of the Wraith, but you don't know that I photoshopped the whole automotive place.
Indeed.
In the public it look like, ooh, Jesus.
Living their best life.
Go back 2 years ago or so or more, when we had the talk about Shad Moss, Bow Wow, who took the picture on the plane. I'm on the private jet. I just jumped out the Wraith, and the girl was over there like, look, that's Bow Wow right there. I'm looking to uphold this image that I still got it going on like this. And I don't know what his pockets look like. I ain't judging what his money look like. All I'm saying is we get so caught up in this. What we see, we never get focused on this.
Absolutely.
And all of this gets this loss. And then you so busy attempting to be somebody or the character in public that in the private, you losing. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You losing. You abusing yourself with the wrong things.
And dealing with your heart is not always easy, because I know someone's going to say, well, it's not easy to always dig in there and talk about those childhood or that last relationship or, your parents. And it's not easy to do that, but it's necessary.
It's necessary because
it's like
it causes.
You have to do what's hard sometimes.
The body, when they talk about it, disease, dis-ease, something is wrong that you are holding on to privately that you don't want your friends, family, sometimes your significant other. I know that could be part of family. Your friends, your family, you don't want the world to see because you worried about how they gonna judge me, how they listening to what I say. But nobody's perfect today. Nobody's perfect no day. Not since, I guess, when Jesus Christ walked the earth, that's what they say. And if you ain't spiritual in that way, that's okay too. But that's the only person that we know that was perfect, that was able to make it through. And heck, he even asked his father to take the cup away, G.
Yes.
He had to go pray privately because his disciples didn't want to hear what he had to say. And he was like, yo, I'm about to be getting up out of here. I got to go. And Peter was like, nah, bro, you can't go nowhere. You ain't doing that. He like, get thee behind me, Satan. Work got to be done.
Indeed.
I'm just being real. Hey, I know it. That's my way of seeing. That's how I see it. Okay. But that's really what happened. He like, get behind me, because in the public, I'm not going to act like everything is okay when I know it's something that my father had to say that I needed to do. So I take that part of my life and I give that to him in the privacy too, because he's the only one that can help me get through. My wife said it. I'm not really a public person. I deal what I need to deal with on my own, or I go deal with my father when I'm talking to God in my privacy. And when I come out in the public, I'm the same Kiki. What you see is what you get. What you see is what you get. And if you're not giving what you want to get, if you're not giving honesty, if you're not giving love, if you're not giving a trusting presence or energy or vibe, then you're not going to get that. You have to trust yourself to know that you're going to be okay regardless to what they say, because what you deal with in your private might bless somebody else in the public in some way. It's people that's listening to what I have to say, is inspired by what I have to say, but they don't know what I went through in the privacy to get to where I'm at here today. But I'm okay with talking about that because I don't care about wearing my heart on my sleeve. I know if you pointing the finger at me and you talking about me, you just ain't decided to deal with you. So you faking and you fronting in the public and you crying at night in the privacy. Why do you want to be a public success but a private failure? Why not be a private success? Why not be a public success and not have to differentiate? I can't get it out right now. D-I-F-F-E-R. Differentiate. Okay. Thank you for, I was finna say 8. Words just don't flow. Yes. Or it's just that sometimes you don't say the word enough to know how to say it, because a word is going to cooperate if you say it right. But thank you for saving me in public, love. I appreciate that. Back in the day, that have got you in trouble too. You don't be correcting me in public. What's wrong with you? What, you want me to sit there and make you look stupid? But that's the things that we go through because that was taught to you. You don't want anybody to correct you. Sometimes you don't want people to help you. Or as you said, when you do reach out to people to help you or to correct you, then you run across the wrong person who wasn't able to get themselves through. So they telling you all the wrong things that don't help you.
Yes. And I think correction and love goes way farther than me saying, oh, you're so stupid, it's differentiate. Like there's a difference. If I could just say, are you talking about this word instead of that word? It's a difference. And I think the way we give our criticism or the way we give our feedback can be offensive and it could shut a person down. So a wise man once told me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
He was wise. He was very wise.
Was he?
Yes. He still is. I'm saying was like he ain't here no more. Wait a minute now. Get a guy the roses while he alive.
Absolutely.
Don't give them to him when I'm dead. Because I ain't going to use them no way, It's all good.
Not really a racist
Hey, also,
person.
I want to say thank you for you being number 100 on the YouTube, because I know last week I did a video saying I just had one more to go to get from 99 to 100, and some friends of mine out here, some way, they blessed me in that way, and we actually got up to 102. Now we down to 101, so whoever left, see you. It wasn't meant for you. But anyhow, I want to say thank you, because like I said, I've been down for the last week, and today was the first time I allowed myself to speak.
Yes.
You know, I don't talk about when I'm sick. I don't talk about sometimes when I'm going through, because I'm here to do three things: motivate, inspire, and transform you. So if I'm always talking about how life could look rough for me in the privacy, then why would you listen to me? You know what I'm saying? Why would you listen to me? But it's in the privacy where I learned me, where I was able to speak open publicly. And that's what we want you to do. Be okay with celebrating you, no matter to what you are going through, no matter what they say about you, no matter what they think you should do. Know that it's okay for you to just be you, however you are. Tall, short, fat, skinny, vegan, burger eater, meat lover, whatever it may be for you. Know that it's okay for you to just be you. But this is what you need to do. You got to motivate yourself. You have to find something that's inspiring yourself. And then you have to take the step to transform yourself. You got to be the one who's willing to raise your hand and say, yo, I'm going to need a little bit of help. I'm gonna need a little bit of help to get through, because the things that I've been attempting to do is not helping me to get through. I've been struggling in the private too, trying to put on the public face to be happy. No, you don't have to do that no more. We live in a different stage and a different time in life. Me and my wife kind of just talked about and laughed about, my kids is over there making jokes and they're saying certain things that some people could take offensive. Some people could feel like they being mean, or back in the day, they would have got the slapping, the beating, go outside, pick me the switch thing, all type of stuff. But if you are okay with being you and talking about and expressing what you go through to that friend, that confidant that you have around you, it's only gonna grow you. And then the public get the authentic version of you. That's why we like the guys like the Tupac too, because he was the same all the time, no matter what you seen. In the public, he was a good guy. When he was being mad, he was being mad. Whatever he had going on, that was it. You respected him for that. It wasn't no front with that, and we respect those type of people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We don't respect the people who's putting out one thing and then you find out they lying. Milli Vanilli was killing the game. Till we found out that they weren't singing, man. We found out it was a dude in the back, in the privacy, he was back there hitting them notes. Ooh, yeah. They sung the Rain song, whatever they had. I was about to sing New Edition, Can You Stand the Rain, but
Yes.
wrong
That
song.
wasn't it.
But again, what's done in the dark comes to the light. So if you're not doing it right, then it's gonna come to the light, and everybody, you gonna be exposed anyway, and you ain't gonna really be able to sleep with yourself at night, because this success that you built in the public is all gonna come crashing down in the public and in the private.
Absolutely.
Hey, we dealing with that right now, right? I don't watch a lot of YouTube, but lately I've been checking out the stuff with Kwame Brown. If you don't know who Kwame Brown is, he was a #1 draft pick in like 2000, 2001, sometime during that time, 17, 18-year-old kid. And a lot of times the NBA announcers and sports talkers call him like the biggest bust in the NBA. And this man hasn't said anything in 20 years. But throughout the public, anytime his name come up, they dragging him about how horrible he was. But they just happen to be talking a little bit too much on this podcast, All the Smoke, Matt Burns and Steven Jackson. Go look it up on YouTube. And he came out of the privacy, and then he started telling some truth in the public, G, and it's turning some heads, you see. Now people are having a whole different outlook on what they said was reality. Because what they were saying was reality, wasn't real.
Right.
Now he's doing saying some factual things where people gonna take some time to heal from. I mean, he even went at Charlemagne, like big time, talked about an alleged rape case that he had, you know what I'm saying? Some things that he dealt with, and he has not stopped. Sometimes you attack people for so long, they might not, go off alone and do the wrong thing. They might come out swinging.
Absolutely.
So I dare you to start swinging on you, for you, so you can help yourself fight your way through. So when the public encounters you, you the same person every day. Well, not the same person. Every day you growing in some type of way, but your character, the things about you that they like about you, that's what's helping them to enjoy you. That's what's helping them to like you. That's what's helping them to want to be around you. It's the things that I say, it's the things that I do that helps me allow to build this crew of friends, this team that's helping us do what we do, because I'm real and talk about what I've been through. My private life is a part of my public life, except what goes on all the time with me and my wife. And I ain't gonna even lie, that ain't for me. That's for Kiki, because I tell it all, G. I tell it all. Kanye West, Lamar Odom, Kardashian story, okay? But I feel like I can tell it in a certain way that's gonna bless somebody.
Right.
Because it's all about, there's a purpose for your pain. And if you're able to maintain your sanity and your privacy, then it'll help you get through the public more easily. And you don't have to fake it till you make it. You can keep on making it and making it and making it. You can keep on knowing that you can take it and take it and take it, whatever adversity comes to you, because you know you being true. Well, who you are, what you struggling with, what you need to do to help you find your way through. So this is what I need you to do. I need you to motivate you. If you ain't getting it from me, find something to motivate you for you. I know, boo. I know. She like shut it down. It's been 1 hour and 5 minutes too. I'm looking at the clock. I got it. I'm about to wrap it up. She gonna slide me down on privacy like, yo, I don't know better to know. You can just say it on there. They know I'm long-winded now. They know. It's been 9 months. We had Paradox Studios. What they want? What they want? I don't know why she looking like that. This is just what it is. Again, I'm saying this, and my kids is over there in the corner, 2 out of the 5, you can't see them, but they're used to this too. This is what I do. They probably like, I'm happy that he talking to y'all and not talking to me, because I don't want no Mr. P.I.E.N. I just want Daddy, and I don't want him sometimes either. I just want him to leave me alone. He could have just left us at home and we'd have been fine, but then they'd have been complaining about, we ain't got nothing to do, where we going, what's going on. So you bring them out to the public and they like, I want to go back home in the private. But then they gonna talk about me in the private in the car anyway. So that's all I gotta say. Don't be a public success and a private failure, because you are failing you if you're not allowing yourself to grow through the pain and adversity that attacks you, because we all have something that we deal with too. But if you go back, rewind, play this video again, it's probably gonna do 3 things: motivate, inspire, and transform you. That's what it's supposed to do. That's all I get on this camera to do: motivate, inspire, transform you. But the transformation part, that's up to you. That starts by you taking a step to change you. And it doesn't matter if you tell everybody in the public what you go through in the privacy. But in the privacy, if it's breaking you down slowly, then you need to find someone to talk to in the public setting. Maybe that public setting is with your therapist. Maybe that public setting is at Starbucks with your girlfriend or your homeboy or something like that. That public setting can just be at the park. You know what I'm saying? It can be something as simple as that. But don't die alone with what's going on when you feel like it's all wrong.
Yes.
Don't die alone when you have so many people out here who want to see you be successful and make it in this thing called life. Because why get to the end of your life to discover you never lived your life right because you was afraid to sweat like my bald head under the bright light? Whoo, bars. Y'all can hold on to that one for tonight. What does that mean? I got plenty of good hair. Okay? It's just up under the skin. The roots and follicles ain't came all the way through yet.
You just say you want mine. It's not nice to
Y'all see what I got to deal with? My kids always talking about my
I
hair.
attempted to have them wrap it up, but I mean,
Wrapping it up. No matter what others may think of you, know that it's okay to just be you, but you have to know who you are in the privacy and in the public setting too. That's how you get the best out of you. Don't let yourself be a public success and a private failure, because your family and the people that's closest to you, those are the people that's really gonna go through. What you do is not just for you. Although sometimes I talk selfishly about you finding you and you living for you, but it's other people around you who are going to go through. So don't just be the one who sneak up out of here, without telling people what's going on with you, because there's somebody out there that can help you get through, because we all struggle with something too. So you could be a public success and you can be a private success, and that is the only way to get through this mess we call life. Find the best version of you. That's all you got to do. You got something, boo?
I hope this motivation and inspiration was something for your situation. Free and relax your mind as if you are on a vacation.
No, that's it. We done. I asked her what she have. I'm going to let it go. Be on the run because you'll be here 30 more minutes. So have a blessed and wonderful Saturday. I hope something that we had to say blessed you and grew you in some type of way. Peace, we out. That's all I got to say. Public, private success every day. Yes. No.